Hi, this is Tim with Band Central. I wanted to show you a great new feature that came out with Band Central 4.0, and that's using the Band Central Cloud to store your documents, your audio files, or whatever files that you may have. You can have docx files. It's going to support multiple files in the future, but let's go through a rundown here. At first, what I want to do is import some files locally so you can see the transition from local files, local meaning on your actual device, to the cloud. So what I have here on the left is my Android device, and I have one band set up. And then on the right, I have the iOS device, which is the iPad. So you may have either one of them. I'm trying to display each of these right now, so you can, depending on what device you might have. So let's start on the Android device, and let's go ahead and import some files. I'm going to import from the local SD card. So I put these files on the SD card. So I'm going to use this folder. So I'm going to select all these files. Notice there's PDF and TXT files that kind of match each other. The TXT file has the metadata for the PDF file. It's from what I've exported in the past. So the metadata, meaning your song key or your tempo or your genre, that's all in this file after I import. And then I also have an audio file that's in this TXT file. So we'll get connected automatically with Baby I Love Your Way, even though it's unrelated. Let's just pretend it's Baby I Love Your Way. So I'm going to go ahead and import these files. You'll see them show up on the iPad automatically. That's the real-time sync in action right there. So it added the songs, and then it says updated existing because it's looking at the TXT files and updating the metadata. Okay, so now that we have the local files imported, let me show you what I mean by that. It's going to have Band Central directory. So when you import from your SD card, it moves that file into the Band Central directory, which is a directory that Android gives to Band Central that's private to it. It's a private sandbox. So you can see that we have the audio file in there as well. So this is right now looking at the lyric. So another way of thinking of it, you can have multiple lyric versions, but we're just gonna use one version right now. So I clicked on lyric versions. You can see it there. Baby I Love Your Way is my default lyric. Now if we go to the iOS device, the iPad, you'll see that the file doesn't show up. This is not what I want to go over in this video, but it's because that file is not located on the local device. So let me show you one other thing. We're going to go through and import from Dropbox. So this is the files menu now too. This is changed in 4.0. So make sure, I have to consolidate the menus. Make sure you watch this video and you see how the menus have changed since the 3X version of Band Central. So I'm going to import from Dropbox. And I'm going to go to some files here. Actually, I'm going to back out of that. And I'm going to go into this one. Sorry. Set list helper files is where I want. And I want to go to these bluegrass files. I'm going to select all of these. These are just simply PDF files, so they don't have the metadata with it. So the point of going through this exercise, I just want to show you update Dropbox files on your Android device, or you could do it vice versa. So all these files have been imported onto the iOS device. So if we come back to here, now we see we have all the files, and if I click on let's do Billy in the Low Ground, that file isn't located on there. I'll show you how to fix that in a moment. So Billy in the Low Ground, it's on here. Let's go look at the lyric and see that this says Dropbox, and that's where it's from. So I need to come back to the Android device, and we are going to go to Files and update Dropbox files to download those files to the Android device. So this is the benefit of not having your songs on your local SD card. You want to have them in Dropbox so you can update them. But the Band Central Cloud gets rid of all this. Every file is going to be stored on the cloud, so everything gets automatically synced. So you don't have to do the update Dropbox files. So that was the old way of doing it. So now we get into the meat of using Band Central Cloud. Let's take a look at Billy and Low Ground on here real quick to make sure we got it. Great. Now we can go through all those. Those files are there, the PDFs. So now I want to migrate to Band Central Cloud. There's a couple ways of doing it. So first, what you need to do, and if you have the existing install, you will be asked if you want to use Band Central Cloud, but right now it's turned off. So I selected it there. Now we come to the settings on the iPad. You can see it's automatically selected there in real time. It keeps that setting. Okay, great. So now any subsequent file that I upload or import will be uploaded to Band Central Cloud, but the existing files are not there yet. So let's go ahead and go through that. So now let's go to Baby I Love Your Way, which is a file that is on the local hard drive of the Android. Let me edit it. You can see it's there. Well, it should be in the cloud, right? So now that I have that setting turned on and I save it, it's going to get uploaded to the cloud. So this is one way of getting your files done. There's a much better way. I just wanted to show you this is one way of doing it. Now if I go back to the edit, I can look here and it says Band Central Cloud for both the audio file and the PDF file. So now if I come to Baby I Love Your Way over here, it's downloading it automatically. I have both the audio file and the PDF file stored in the cloud. That's great. Okay, now that audio file just played, as you could hear real quick. Now you probably have lots of files, so this would be a tedious way of going about it. So let's go over to the iPad and let's go migrate to cloud storage. I just wanted to show you something here as well. I'm going to come over to settings and turn this off just to demonstrate the migration. Let's go to files and we're going to go to migrate to cloud storage, and these are all the files that are not in the cloud. So I'm going to say migrate 9 files. Now you see we have a problem here because Barracuda, Brickhouse, and a couple of others aren't on this device. They're local to the Android device. So what I'm going to do is go over to the Android device and migrate those files. But I wanted to show you this right here, which is if you have a problem with any of your files, you can go to Find File and you can browse to the file and you can correct that file, and that will automatically upload it to the cloud as well. In addition, there's a new view called the Files view. So this is all your files, and it's going to tell you if you have files missing or if they're in Band Central Cloud or wherever they might be, if they're in Dropbox, and you can filter it. You can see we have 2 files that are bad here or that cannot be found. You can filter on the type of file if you have documents or audio. So let's go ahead, and here's another way you can fix that file. You can click this info icon and you can find the files right here as well. Similar way of doing it. Let's go back to the Android device and let's migrate those files. Migrate to cloud storage. Now it tells me those 2 files are not in cloud storage because the iPad could not see those files. All this is just to show you many different ways and use cases that you might run into, but this hopefully is much easier for you. You just migrate the files on your one device and they all go up. So now all the files are here. So if we go back to Barracuda, it downloads the document on demand too. Okay, great. Now another thing that I wanted to show you is the website. Look at there. All the files that we just created are on the website. And if I click any of these files, the document is there. You can add more versions. If you wanted to have a PDF for one and you want to have the Cord Pro text format, you could do that as well. So you can view the files in bandcentral.com and you can navigate through them like this as well. You can play the audio file in the browser now, which is great. So that was that song. Came up really quick. It's obviously not Baby I Love Your Way, but you can navigate through the pages right here of the PDF file, or you can just navigate through each lyric and it will download it because everything's in the cloud. So this is a great general overview of Band Central Cloud, and I'm really excited to get this out, and I'm interested to see how everybody's going to start using this. One of my biggest questions is, my files are missing from my device. Well, now they're in the cloud. They automatically get synced with Band Central. So I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if you have problems or issues, concerns. Email support@bandcentral.com. Thanks.